Thank you, Madam Speaker. This bill is not born of ignorance, but of extremely deep-felt concern for unborn children who suffer pain as they are being murdered. Madam Speaker, I fear for the conscience of our nation because the termination of unborn children, for any reason, is tolerated in some parts of our country throughout pregnancy, even though scientific conclusions show infants feel pain by at least 20 weeks gestation. That means literally that a baby at the halfway point of a pregnancy will experience pain during the violence of a dismemberment abortion, the most common second trimester abortion, wherein a steel tool severs limbs from the infant and its skull is crushed. Madam Speaker, it's even difficult for me to describe this procedure without getting emotional. These procedures are horrific, and in terms of pain, like torture to their infant subjects. As a country, we should leave this practice behind. That is why I'm a co-sponsor of the underlying legislation to prohibit elective abortions in the United States past 20 weeks. Since 1973, approximately 52 million, Madam Speaker, children's lives have been tragically aborted in the United States. It is unconscionable that in America, where we fight for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we tolerate the systemic extermination of an entire generation of the most vulnerable among us. H.R. 1797 rejects that hypocrisy and provides common sense protections for unborn children who feel pain just as you and I do. My colleague and friend from Arizona, Representative Rep Foxx, is a champion for the unborn, and I commend him for authoring this legislation, which prohibits an abortion of an unborn child that has surpassed 20 weeks after fertilization. In light of the recent conviction of Philadelphia-based late-term abortionist Kermit Gosnell, who was found guilty of first-degree murder in the case of 3 babies born alive in his clinic and then killed through a procedure he called snipping, which involved Gosnell inserting a pair of scissors into the baby's neck and cutting its spinal cord, a procedure that was reportedly routine in his clinic. We cannot stand idly by. Madam Speaker, some would have us think that Gosnell is an anomaly or an outlier. However, after his conviction, more individuals have stepped forward to expose similar practices in other states. Americans should be asking, how different are these snipping procedures from abortions performed throughout clinics in the country? Unfortunately, there's little difference between these procedures. The practice of murdering viable unborn children who can feel pain must end. I urge my colleagues to join me in speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves and vote in favor of this rule and the underlying bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.